Good?
Yep.
Right in front of my face, ready?
Yeah.
In front of Zach's face or my face? Let's do it in front of his. Hold on, ready?
All right.
Didn't mean to snap. And Zach Mills, Remax, take one.
Boom.
Here I am, fortunate enough on this trip we're on, which used to be the norm, up in Prince George, sitting with Zach Mills, the new owner of Remax Centre City Realty in Prince George.
The youngest owner of a Remax franchise in Canada. I met Brent in 2007. I was a bartender at Earl's, and he pulled up in a Lotus, and I was the only guy in the restaurant that knew what the car was. And I remember he looked at me and he said, "How the hell do you know what that is?" I said, "Oh, I like cars." So I sent in a resume to Northland after I left Earl's in the summer, and they told me I was too young to join, but I figured, okay, this guy's driving a Lamborghini now, so I might as well stick on him. I spent some more time in the bar, and then eventually got fed up and threw a resume into Northland when I was 21, and Mr. Marshall gave me a chance. What I've noticed with Brent over the years is how he treats people, how he treats baristas and servers. There's not too many guys who come up into a restaurant and, "How's your day?" "Outstanding." People think, "What the hell's wrong with this guy?" But it's cool to see the energy that he projects into people, and the smiles, the laughter, the excitement that this guy brings into a room of people that nobody else can. And it's been cool to mentor under him, and he sent me to all kinds of crazy stuff like Tony Robbins, where you walk on fire. But to do that at 24 or 23, I don't know how old I was at the time, it pushes your boundaries, pushes your limits. We talked a lot about fear and goal setting and whatnot, and now I'm doing that, coaching some of the realtors with similar stuff. So it's been a neat transition to go from behind the bar to beside him at the bar. But I'm definitely thankful for meeting him at the bar. So yeah.
Yeah, crazy experience, when you think of the people. And one of the things I've talked to lots of people about is at the end of the day, it's not the money. You'll have money is great, it helps, it's fun to be able to buy toys, but it'll be the experiences. So
the one thing that I learned from you was to, if you're going to invest in something, invest in yourself. Invest in the knowledge that you can pick up from books. You don't necessarily need an MBA title to be a business leader or owner. You can get all of that from the books you read. And it was cool to go through some of the books that you gave me when you were teaching Northland and see some of the notes in the books that I have that memory of, like, I remember we had a meeting about this and mindset, and just some of the life lessons taught at Northland in the 4 years that we were there where we dominated were to see where those people have gone on to now, where they're running a dealership or they're sales manager. They've gone through these different roles because I think the belief that you gave them that you can become what you believe, right? And you believe, or sorry, you achieve what you believe. So it's I know it sounds cheesy, but it's true, and it's cool to see how much of an impact you've had on so many different people's lives and where people have gone because of the time they spent with Northland, right?
yeah.
So,
and if I was in town, I held the morning meeting every morning to motivate people.
It was something that I think at the time you didn't really realize what you were doing. Now when I look back at it, it was simply putting us in state,
Yeah.
and putting us in a mental state where you tell us a story about selling some interesting individuals a vehicle and delivering it to them, and it'd be a joke, but then we'd play some music and there'd be some AC/DC, and it was $1,000 on the hood of the first car that was sold. So you're putting us in state, and it was almost empowering to want to go sell a car for you, to be like, "Hey, I sold the car. Where's my $1,000?" And we had to catch a couple of unicorns too to get that $1,000. But it was a good lesson, and a good way to start the day. And I think you really built that tribe, and that tribe, I think, believed in you as a leader, and it was cool to see all those people walking around dealerships, smiling, listening to AC/DC, drinking coffee, and especially under how much stress most car dealerships run under. It was a totally different world to work in. So.
We had a lot of fun, and then I love the fact, and you brought up earlier, that you can be positive every day. So I get this question all the time from people even that know me well. that say, well, you can't actually be this happy or positive all the time. And I say, yes, you can. Who the fuck ever told people you can't be happy every day or be happy to be alive?
I think the one meeting was happiness is a choice. And should you choose to believe that or not, what you focus on is, and choosing your words too. Choosing your words wisely in how you see yourself, how you view yourself. Some of the messages from those meetings, I still look back on today and think, the one I remember was the recession. News is, the world is ending, everything's going to be over, we're all going to call it a day. And Brent comes in with a smile and says, hey guys, something's going on in the States with the banks. There's something like a recession. We're not going to participate in that. We'll still sell cars. We're in Prince George. And it put everyone at ease, but it was a kind of an example of choosing to become what you believe, right? And that
was a fun part of leadership even, and back to that buy-in of what people think or believe, or listening to other people. I've always said, don't listen to other people, do your own thing. And I still laugh that, so the recession, and Chrysler goes bankrupt, and I have Chrysler long-standing, I'm the young guy at that time, and I've got long-standing Chrysler dealers looking at me as the president of Chrysler's ad council at the time and the most successful dealer, blah, blah, blah. They're calling me saying, what are you going to do? And I laugh because several of them to this day still joke about, remember when you said, when I called you and you said, oh, I'm just not going to participate in this recession? And they're fucking laughing. Like, they're like, no, but give me a real reason. Like, give me something. What are you going to do? I'm like, oh, no, I'm serious. I'm just not going to participate. I'm going to do our thing.
We'll find a different bank.
Got to find a different way, find different banks, find Chrysler gone bankrupt. I'm like, I'm going to sell something. I've got 100 people here that have to support their families.
Yeah.
And they look to me. So if I come in a negative state or down or whatever, that is going to go through the company. The whole place will go for a shit. So we didn't participate. And month after month, where our numbers were high as ever and everyone went for a shit, finally, after months of this, people came to me and said, what is going on? I said, you have to give your fucking head a shake. You're the leader. If you go in and tell them and all you're talking about is the negativity going on in the world, you're just a dark cloud, right?
It's toxicity.
And you bring that energy. So that, I can't say enough. That whole, you have the choice to smile every day, all the time. Wake up every morning happy. If you're strong of mind, you can actually say, no matter what the fuck happened yesterday, you can wake up and be happy the next day.
I remembered a long time ago, actually, I don't know if I told you this story. I was sitting at a sushi bar, Mr. Sushi, just around the corner here, and I'm sitting there with this guy, and Brent Marshall comes up. I said, oh, who's this Brent Marshall guy? And he goes, oh yeah, I know. He's like, I sat beside that guy in a plane, and he had 3 books. He was always reading. He always had these books. He was learning. He was just like, he's on the go, and he's busy. He's drinking coffee. He's talking to people. And I thought to myself, well, I'm not feeling so hot. Maybe I should go pick up a book. And that book was Tools for Titans by Tim Ferriss. And then that sent me down a different path of learning and tried to reframe mindset, lost 50 pounds, and I was kind of in a state where I was invincible, and did my real estate license, which is a great way to remove that invincibility, and failed it once, so decided to fly to Kelowna to meet you and take the supplemental math course because calculus came back and got me. And I got in the truck and you're on the phone talking about Remax and talking about selling it. And I remember sitting in that moment thinking, what is he talking about? I'm coming to work for him. This prick's selling the company. What? I've leveraged my life to do this real estate thing. And he hangs up the phone. I said, what's that? Oh, my life's in Kelowna now, and I'm busy, and I'm trying to sell it. I said, what are the numbers on that? I'll buy that. Yeah. I remember the look on your face. You were just
that
like,
was awesome. Is there any reason why I can't? Is there any reason why I couldn't buy that?
Yeah. What are the stipulations?
Talk about being in
I remember
thinking, right?
It was just kind of, I was in that state, and I was like, fuck, look, you can do it, I'm sure I can do it. And then I remember asking you, I said, how old were you when you started your dealership? You said 32. Like, yeah, I'm 31, I gotta beat you now. So, but it's even just helping me prepare that business plan, going in to meet those guys. And what I loved was the day that we go in to meet them, we take the Hellcat and blast AC/DC to put ourselves in state before the meeting, the biggest meeting of my life. And that's all we've done at Northland from day one is play AC/DC and smile. So to see someone be successful and think to yourself, how can I emulate that? How could I learn from that person? What is he doing that I could maybe implement in my life? Is there, the next time you see a successful person, how are they successful? Why are they successful? Like, what's something that they do in their life that I could simply just mirror, and maybe that'll make me feel better, make me put me in a different state, and whether that's getting up at 4:30 and going to the gym, if that gets you off, be my guest. Finding some sort of discipline within yourself and the pleasure monkeys that we are to be able to enjoy your life as you want to live it. And I think entrepreneurship gives you that, but giving people that push and that mentorship that you can do it takes a real,
So another one I got to think of, back to you said what's so important, I think, for anybody these days, mentorship. So you've had the chance, which is great, to meet some of these incredible mentors in my life. And I'm just thinking of, Gary Williams as an example. Look at how crazy that is. So I'm racing around in dune buggies with a man who is 30 years older than his son, who's my age, and the rest of it. But it was when I hung out with these Gary Williams of the world, or these Joe Medinas, these highly successful guys, 30 years older than I am, gleaning them for knowledge, because they've already lived life and the wisdom that comes. And that's, if there's one thing I'm trying to impact to younger people by doing this documentary and these films, is all this stuff is not bullshit. You're a real life example. But one of those is, you talked about personal growth. If life's not what you want it to be, don't sit and stare at your fucking phone at these bullshit motivational quotes from fucking losers. No disrespect, but it's so easy to cut and paste something and try to look wise. Actually hang out with those that are living a fucking great life.
That's and I think what's amazing now is the way that information is spread through podcasts or through if you want to have that conversation with Gary Vee, he's in your living room with you, right? Yeah. And you put that on and listen to that, you're never going to have that opportunity to go sit in a room with Gary Vee and whoever he's interviewing at the time. But if you can have that and take your own, the one book I read, Aubrey Marcus, is that can either be downtime, you're listening to music, or it can be prime time, where you're priming yourself and driving in traffic, throwing a podcast. What else are you doing? You're going to listen to the news? What's that going to do for you, right? And
which, by the way, folks, I should share. I never, ever listen. I have no fucking idea what's ever going on in the world. So Greece could have slid into the ocean. I would be the last guy to know. Or 70,000 killed in Japan. I don't know. I don't care to know. I don't want negativity in my life.
I think it's a good lesson, because you look at how many people get up and read the news and check their phone and compare themselves to someone, and it's then you look at what successful, I guess in my opinion, CEOs do. They get up, they're going to the gym, they're doing something, they're priming themselves, spending those first couple hours of the day to put themselves in that state. And whether that state is from AC/DC in the shower or at the office, or that's from pumping up yourself at the gym, finding that state of, my thing is do good, be good, it'll be good. And that's kind of the mindset that you can take to anything. So
you mentioned these books, and it's critical that every person that seems to have done well, I've noticed, and making the film crew, listen. I have this balance of X amount of music rocking, then a podcast, maybe more music and other positive things. So some positive, because I find music uplifting. But I stress to them, you find that balance. So when you're quoting these things, if anyone watching this cannot quote something out of a book or a podcast, you're wasting your time on shit. This whole time I've been sitting there thinking about quotes, and one that's never left me, and you poor people at Northland probably had to hear it 7 times a year, if not 20 times. People in general, my own kids, is that, and it's that Tony Robbins quote. A lot of people think he's corny or whatever. He's positive. He's done incredible things, well known by millions, so he obviously is doing something right. Is you are a direct reflection of the expectation of your peer group. And if you think of that, that is, you are like those you surround yourself with. I surrounded myself with early on, with incredibly positive people. Not the monkeys, as you refer to, that are up there that are slinging their own shit, which is a lot of people. So you don't, if I could share one thing with my kids, is don't climb the tree and be slinging fucking shit.
Yeah, not just talking about being a good person, actually being a good person, and spreading those smiles.
Anyways, thank you, buddy, for taking the time.
No, that was good.
Okay,
that's cool.
Cool.